So these are patch notes launching tomorrow. So I was wondering, I wasn't sure if they were today, but no. So it's gonna be tomorrow. So this patch includes updates to battlegrounds, duels, mercenaries, all that stuff. Let's just go to the backgrounds updates. New emotes. Sure. Starting with 24.0, all players will have access to the base battleground emotes. So right now, the emotes are perks that you have to pay for. So it seems that they're going to give everyone emotes, which personally I don't like, because I don't like the emotes generally. I don't like. I think they're more annoying, at least to me, and they don't have like that. Like there are some players that will emote to like level and that kind of thing, which is like generally fine, but you know, most often it's more just like they're trolling you. But it looks like everyone's gonna get the base emotes, but players will be able to obtain special emotes, sure. So the new emotes will be available a week after the expansion. When's the expansion? August 12th, so August 9th. So quite a while away you'll get the emotes. Just taking a look at the emotes. Which one's the most like trolly? I like the one with the T. That's the one. The one with the T. The Murloc seems to be in good spirits. The one with the death, the coffin is so. This one is the toxic one, right? You just put in the coffin before they die. Yeah, that there it is. That's the toxic one right there. Anyways, whatever. This isn't that important, unless you like the kind of thing. New hero. Okay, so this is a big change. New hero, perfect crime, 9 gold. That's a lot of gold. Steal all minions in Bob's Tavern. Steal, so it's basically the prize. That prize is really good, honestly. The prize, so it is the tier 3 prize, so the 12 gold, the turn 12 prize. One of them is steal all minions in Bob's Tavern, refresh the shop. You don't get the refresh, but you get the steal. Which is like, and when I looked at it, to me, it's like worth like 8-9 gold, usually. But that one's on Tavern tier 5, where you have 5 minions. So that's 5 minions, and then sometimes you get minions that give you economy as well, and then also sometimes you get minions that you're gonna buy anyway. So like any minion you're gonna buy anyways is 3 gold, and then minions with economy is 2 gold, right? And the 5 Tavern shop, that's gonna be 8-9 gold, plus you get the refresh. You don't get the refresh here, so still 8-9 gold. So 9 gold is a lot though, but each turn your hero power costs 1 less. That kind of makes it crazy, right? So you can have this be like 4 gold, steal all minions in Bob's Tavern. That's pretty strong. That's pretty nutty, right? Let's say you go 3-on-3, right? Like if you go 3-on-3, it's gonna cost 6 gold, right? And then you just steal all 4 minions, right? That's crazy good, right? Wait a minute, that's really good, right? You go 3-on-3 with this hero, and you steal all 4 minions. You just have 4 minions on 3, Tavern 3. And that's not even the whole ability, right? And then you still have this for the next time. If you can use this on 3-on-3, this hero's like really strong. If you can use this on 3-on-3. If you can't, then you have to find a different curve for it. But if this is like, if this fits perfectly into 3-on-3, it's really, really good. I'm not reading chat right now, so I don't know if you guys like know exactly if it can. Forget 3-on-3, go 4-on-4 meta. Does it reset with each use? Yeah, it does. So every time you use the hero power, its cost resets. So it does reset. I can make it a little bit easier to see, by the way. So yeah, the cost will reset every time you use it. So it will reset to original 9 gold and start the cycle. So basically, if you can go 3-on-3, use this hero power, steal the whole board, and then play normally, that's really, really good. So could be a really strong hero. Yeah. So I do want to play the hero. So usually I kind of rate heroes by does the hero power and everything make me want to play the hero? And I would say yeah, it does. So usually that means that the hero is too good. If I want to play the new hero, that's just that's been my experience. Anytime I read a hero power and I'm like, oh, I want to play it, it ends up being too good. So I'm gonna say this is probably a good hero. But obviously you have to see, you have to play. But it looks good to me. So it has my check mark. Hero updates. Lich King, Sneed, Van Cleave can now all target minions in Bob's Tavern. Doesn't matter. Effects that are not for 1 turn will carry over to a recruit phrase if you freeze the minion. So basically you can Sneed or Lich King the tavern. Does that matter? Is this relevant at all? Because this just seems like kind of whatever to me. But yeah, Lich King targeting the tavern, does that matter? I don't think these matter. Right? I don't think they matter. I'm not seeing it. Yeah, you can hero power a shop and freeze it. But the how often you're gonna do that, I think is pretty low. So I don't think like you're gonna say, oh, Lich King's a lot better now, or Sneed's a lot better now, or Edwin's a lot like I don't think they're gonna change the power levels. It's like a nice quality of life change that doesn't affect the hero at all. You know what I mean? So I don't think this matters too much, but it is something you can look at. Minion update. So before I look, I mean, I've already seen it, but before I look at it, I think Cookie needs to go or be adjusted massively. I think Greasebot needs a bit of a nerf. Like you could make it a 2-1. You could make it even a 2-2 initially, but I would definitely change Greasebot. To not change Greasebot, to not change Cookie is like not understanding the meta. So that's what I would look for. The other things that need to be adjusted aren't really as important, I would say, as those particular 2 cards. You know, like there's some cards that could be buffed and whatnot. Some small cards that could use like stat adjustments, but they're not that they wouldn't change how the meta functions. What would change how the meta functions is how the Cookie Necrolite interaction works. I think it's too free to give stats like that, and then also the Greasebot scaling is also it dwarfs anything else if you get it early, and also like I could see if you're not nerfing or adjusting Greasebot, you could also nerf the things around it. So you could nerf Macro or remove Macro. Personally, I wanted Macro removed for a long time, but you could definitely remove Macro, and I think that would make Greasebot like not as powerful. Obviously, it'd still be okay. Like you could make Greasebot like a 2-2 and then remove Macro, and I think I'd be okay with those changes. But that's the kind of stuff I'm personally looking for. You know, or I would look at if I were to look at minion updates. But obviously we're not getting that. But it's that like before I look at the actual changes, that's the kind of things I'd be looking at. So they're changing red Whelp. So it's going from 1-2 stats to 2 attack 2 health. So I've said that Whelp is the worst card in the game, I think. especially now in this particular meta where dragons are pretty weak. Um, there's not a great spot for Whelp. Like sometimes you take it because it's a pair, and then maybe you triple it, right? Let's say you're playing Maev, but you're not happy about it. Um, so I actually think this is a interesting change, but not like the change I would do for a Whelp. Also, I don't. One thing that always bothers me is how slow they adjust these. Like Whelp has been the worst card in the game for like almost like more than like 3/4 of a year or something. Like very quickly after it came out, it hasn't. It's been the same, and it hasn't felt good to play. There were some like small situations where like Terragosa had some abuse with it and whatnot, but generally like the card has not been good, and it's taken like so long for them to make this small change where they could have like made this change so much earlier in its life cycle, like so like months and months and months and months ago, and we probably wouldn't complain, we wouldn't say anything. But personally, I like deal I personally would have liked it to deal 1 damage per friendly dragon +1, right? So the baseline is 1 instead of the baseline 0. So if you play Whelp, it will shoot 2, and then if you have 2 of them, it'll shoot for 3. So it actually feels a lot more threatening in the early game where you're going to use it. That's how I would adjust it. I actually think this adjustment is also okay. Like making a two attack is also okay, but it doesn't make the card like feel pretty cool or anything. And one really weird thing with Red Whelp right now is when you get it off of Yasiraj, so if you hero power Tavern tier 1 with Yasiraj, you pull Red Whelp. What happens is you will burn for 0. Because at the start of combat, you have 0 dragons, so it'll just burn for 0. It'll do the burn animation and everything. You just hit for 0. I think it's so awkward that happens. So if you make it initial 1, like +1, even with Yasiraj, it'll burn for 1, and I think that's that's not as troll as you hero power with Yasiraj and you burn for 0. And you see the animation and everything. So that would have been my adjustment, but this is okay too. Like I'm not complaining about it. I'm just like, it took so long for this to happen because this has been like, in my opinion, the worst card for so long. And I would like it if they buff like weak cards more often. They don't, I feel like they don't do it enough. Cause like the Necrolite's a weird position, but Necrolite got buffed, right? And now it's like it's very playable, like synergy with Brand and everything. Like it became a very respectable card after the buff. Like there are a lot of cards that have been buffed and then becomes respectable. So I would like to see more of it, but this change I'm okay with. It just doesn't change dragons or anything. It like it's just gonna be a better card to accidentally buy if you need it. So like Maev's happier, maybe Ysera's happier. There's not a lot of heroes that are happier about this, but it is an interesting change. I want to see more of it overall. So Chroma Wing's been reworked and returned to minion pool. So it was kind of weird right now because there was only 1 dragon on tier 1, and that was like actually very, very, very relevant, because if dragons were in the pool and you stayed on 1, the chance that you get like the other cards were significantly higher. So if tokens were in the pool and dragons are in the pool, right, you would be, the chance you get the tokens was very high because there's only 1 dragon, so the chance you hit the dragon is not super high. So adding the second dragon in the pool will make tokens harder to find when dragons are in and the rest are like tokens, right? So like when it was like Beast, Naga, Quilboar, Dragon, Pirate or something, right? you're getting so many tokens, right? Because all the other like because the chance you roll the dragons is very low because there's only one of them versus two. So now that they're adding the second one, it's going to be harder to get that second, or it's going to be slightly harder to get tokens if you're staying on one. So the tier one, basically the tier one heroes get a small nerf when dragons are in again, though they got a huge buff for no reason. So it equalizes them back to like what it should be. But yeah, like Zarella and like Scabs and stuff like that, like when dragons are in, they were like so happy because you just like you get so many tokens because there's so many tokens and you don't have that extra dragon to dilute your pool. So kind of fixes that problem. It's not a problem anyone's talking about because it's like just a super high level like issue that no one really cares about unless you're like playing in tournaments or like Super MMR. Like I'm sure like no one's thinking, like not a lot of people are thinking about that when they're making their hero selections, but it's, for me it was something I considered, but it's not like game changing. Like you'll still pick the good heroes and you'll avoid the bad heroes, but it does like give a small edge to those type of heroes in this patch. But it is being fixed now, so not something to consider anymore. Anyways, let's talk about the actual rework. Chroma Wing, Tavern Tier 1, Dragon, 1 health and 1 attack. So it's a 1/1. After you upgrade your Tavern Tier, gain +1 for each friendly dragon. So when you level, you will gain +1/+1. So let's say you buy turn 1, you level turn 2 to 2/2. That's not great. And then you... That's awkward as hell. That is not clean. This card is kind of very, very weird. I mean, I guess you played with Ysera, but yeah, I mean, even then. This is a very awkward Chroma Wing card. Why is it 1/1? You could make it a 1/2. I think that would be okay. It doesn't need to be a 1/1. It goes from a 1/1 to a 2/2. Like it's still pretty bad. This seems like a big nerf. Unless you stay on 1. Right, so I guess if you stay on 1, this is maybe okay. But the problem with staying on 1 is you're running 1/1s for a long time with no upside until you level, right? So like, if you go Warrior Curve, that's still turn 5, right? And your payoff is a 3/3, unless you have 2 of them. If you have 2 of them, then you're getting, what? If you have 2 1/1s, you get +2/+2, then you get a 5/5. Like... That's still not that good for running a 1/1 for 4 turns. Your payoff is a 5/5. That's still bad. I think I would make this a 1. Like, I don't know if this is how I'd rework the card in the first place, but in this current rework, I would give it another health. Make it a 1/2. So that even if you go like 2-on-2, it's a 2/3. So at least it ties with things. Because right now you go 2-on-2, it's a 2/2. It's so bad. Like you can't level for a 2/2. Like what are you doing with your play? This seems pretty sketchy. I'm not happy with this change overall. Like I was saying, this is the worst card in the game. I could see this becoming the new one. So just a weird card. Yeah, I don't understand it. Like. It seems really bad. Like what? Who's designing these cards, guys? Who's designing these cards? I don't know, but this doesn't seem strong at all. And it doesn't seem fun to play or anything. And you're not getting synergies. Like Chroma Wing was kind of cool because it actually helped dragons into a weird way. Like you could run Chroma Wing, and then if you like tripled into a Nadina, you could run like double Chroma Wing Nadina, and that was like an okay composition, and you could like actually play some games with that for a while. But now you can't do that at all. Like there's no help, there's no synergy with it. So Very weird. I don't know. I'm not happy with this rework. It seems kind of sad. So, and that's it. Those are the changes. That's disgusting. What, this doesn't do anything. So, we've had this like Greasebot meta for a while now, right? And I mean, I bet their stats is like, this is fine. I really do. I bet in their stats it's like, oh, you know, Greasebot's not even that good. But that's really not true. It's really not. So it just seems off. It really just seems off that that's their thing. Oh, I need to sign in, huh? Does that work? Okay. So look at this best composition. Mech. Oh, pirates. Sorry, but this is the pirates is a lie. You see there's some pirates here. All the pirates are lies. Because if you actually click on it, look at the pirate percentage. It's 5%, where the mech is actually 25. So this is actually mechs. It's not actually pirates. It's a lie. So you know, let's just go back say, oh no, it's actually it's not mechs, it's actually pirates. So it's mech. This is the same problem. You're gonna have very low pirate percentage, very high mech percentage. The Naga one, maybe this might be true. I don't actually know. Yeah, Naga 16, that's actually kind of high. But then I mean, it says Naga here, but like, look at the mech. It's higher percentage, higher placement. Like, why is it saying Naga here? It's also a lie as well, right? Like, legitimately every single high tier hero, Millhouse excluded, it's all mechs. It's all mechs. And you can't say, oh, Greasebot is fine when you look at the stats. Like, you know, it's very weird for them to not touch Greasebot at all. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. Like, we're gonna be playing more Greasebot meta for the foreseeable future, right? Because the weird thing about these patches is like you're not gonna see another patch next week. You're not, right? You're gonna wait like minimum 2 weeks for another patch. So minimum 2 more weeks of Greasebot meta, right? Like the last patch was what, a month ago, right? So if we go same trajectory, this is another month of Greasebots. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. But hey, there's a new hero. I don't know. Like it's a weird it's a weird thing from a design standpoint for me, but like, to be fair, like this meta isn't like super toxic. It's not like unfun to play. The unfun part is like, I guess, prize lobbies with mechs in, because those lobbies are super toxic. Where if you don't get the Greasebot, you're actually just screwed. Like, so prize lobbies with mechs in are actually toxic, but that's not every lobby, right? Like, that's like maybe 1 out of every like 8 lobbies, maybe more. So it's not that common. But yeah, those are the pretty toxic ones. The regular games are pretty healthy. The games without mechs in are also pretty healthy, except for the Quillbores. Like, Quillbores are kind of pretty disgusting right now, but like no mechs, no Quillbores. The problem though is, like, if you have no mechs, no Quillbores, right, then it's kind of like a beast meta thing, and then if you have none of those, then it's like Murloc meta, you know. So like it's not like super balanced either, but it's like reasonably healthy, except for like the mech Quillbore shenanigans. So yeah, pirates are okay. Like, pirates are broken if you know how to play well, you know. So the people that do that, like, I'm not like gonna make them like, I'm not gonna nerf pirates because the people that know how to play pirates played well. Like, it's fine. Anyways, I think that's it for me. I think that's it for me. So thank you